What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is here, back again for a bit of transfer talk. Listen, people, I've been away for a few days. It was nice to get away with the fam. Just nice to just cool out, relax, watch football with no pressure. It was good. It was good. But yeah, back for a little bit of transfer talk. Hasn't really been much going on in the world of Leeds United, but that's not always a bad thing, as we'll get to with a couple of our players. This one's the first message, so I'll just get with Jason. I'm subscribed in ages, but can't seem to get on. Have I done something wrong or offended anyone? If so, I apologize. And honestly, would never hurt anyone's feelings. Well, you haven't hurt any of my feelings because you're still visible. So just letting you know, you're still seen. If you've done anything wrong, you'd have been blocked already. But yeah, listen, people, smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. New channel members as well, and shout out to you guys, Steve H, Charles John, who left a wonderful message in the last video. Thank you so much, Charles. And Russell Marsden. Big up to the people that are members of the stream, of the channel. It just helps me. It's just an extra bit of support for me. And you know what, I never really thought I'd get more than a couple of members, but you know, we're in double figures now, so we are actually starting to look like the overbooked NWO and WCW. It's all good. It's all good, people. So yeah, just thank you for the support. And obviously I've just hit 6K as well on here, but we'll keep it moving. Big up to you, R41, big up channel. Only discovered this place last week. Thank you and welcome. Germinator, good afternoon to Mr. Say how it is. Thank you. And shout out to everyone in here, Derek, Bobs, and Raj. Man, big up to everyone that's joined me so far. T85, Blinky Fish. Yeah, man, all good, all good. So yeah, what we're going to talk about now is, I mean, listen, just before we go, Forest got promoted. Good on Forest. Good to see another club like that back in the Prem. Brendan Johnson and Cole will be here in the Prem. Looking forward to it, man. Forest are a big club, big club, and it's been too long since they've been out of the top league. So for me, welcome back into the Prem. It's been a long time coming, I would say. And yeah, it's one of those where I'm just happy to see another team like that come up. You know, I wasn't bothered about Huddersfield. You know, I mean, I want the Premier League to be great again, and I think you can only be great with you've got huge clubs like that. When I'm talking about huge clubs, I'm talking about history a bit, talking about fan bases, and it's going to be good to resume that rivalry in the top league again. So big up to Forest, big up to Real Madrid as well. Hala Madrid, stop that nonsense from carrying on. Now all the Liverpool fans are backtracking on what they were saying. Listen, uncomfortable conversations, people, uncomfortable conversations. But yeah, listen. Main transfer news, let's go. So we are linked with Red Bull Salzburg defender Rasmus Christensen. And he's somebody I knew of a couple of years ago because I was talking in a group chat a couple of years ago with West Ham fans because they were linked with him also a couple of years back. And I like the look of him then. I haven't really kept track of him though, so he's not been on my radar as much over the last couple of years, but I did see a couple of 4 games with him against Bayern Munich. And yeah, he was perfectly fine in the first game. That was a good game. But the second game, they did get a bit of a hammering. So it's hard to judge by that. But listen, if you're going to judge people in a hammering, then you judge Raphinha in a hammering. And like against Man City, you can't really do that. So yeah, I mean, listen, he's a good player, man. Very, very good player. Up and down the wing. Likes to get in the box a bit as well. Good crossing, tough defender. There's no negatives in this one for me, people. Now, yes, are the goals and assists going to come as easy from in the Prem as it does in the Austrian League? Probably not. But what he brings as well is a winning mentality, which I think is very, very important. You know, he looks very happy when he's won trophies, as you can see on the display picture. That's what we need. We need players with a different mentality. And listen, for the price that's being quoted as well, 10 million, you got to do that. And it's another thing as well, isn't it? 10 million is not 30, 20 million. And I just have to reiterate, not everyone is going to cost 20 or 30 million. It can't happen. So for 10 million, he's worked with Jesse Marsh before. I think it's for 2 years. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Obviously, but there is competition though from Dortmund. But this is where you have to use your previous relationship. This is where Jesse Marsh has to talk to him and say, listen, Rasmus, you're my guy. You're gonna probably be my number one. So if you come here, you're gonna be in my system that you know very well, and you're gonna play Premier League football on a huge stage. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, Connor here saying tough competition. Okay, you're going to be tough to win the battle. Yeah, but that's it, Connor. The better players or players like that, you will always have competition. I always worry when there's no competition. You know, one of them. It's like, oh, how did we get this guy so easy? But listen, there's going to be competition, but that's when you use your. In this case, you use your previous relationship that you've got with him. Victor, I'm sure, will sell him on the project, and you go from there. That's what we have to do. Encounter saying Rasmus Christensen would be ideal for us. He scores goals as well. Boy looks a beast, quite strong. Yeah, he is. I really hope we get him. Yeah, he's a tough tackler. He's a good tackler of the ball, but he gets forward as well. That's the most important thing. Obviously, in the Premier League, it's important in a wing-back system that you fullbacks get forward, which is not what we've had this season. Just think about what we've had this season. Hasn't been good. He's an upgrade straight away. And if you can get it for 10 million, let's go. Let's go. I mean, the one thing I will say, and we're going to talk about it when we talk about this next guy, who I thought the chapter was all closed on. It is closed, but I have to bring him up again. It's just that I just hope that the scouting isn't going to be not predictable, but lazy is a tough word. But I mean, the Red Bull system is a fine system. Let's be fair. You know, when you talk about Salzburg and then Leipzig, it's a real good system. Of course, it is. But I just hope that they're going to branch out a little bit and get another kind of player too to go here. I don't think it's going to be beneficial just to have a whole bunch of Red Bull system players in one. But listen, we've gone for a system before when we've gone for runners and energy. That tails off. Let's see what we can do in the next one. I'm still at the point. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I'm still at the point of I'm looking forward to this window, people. It doesn't open till June the 10th. But I'm looking forward to what I'm hearing. Nothing's concrete, but I'm just looking forward to what I'm hearing in terms of players that could be staying. Hey, Blinky Fish read my mind. Players that could be staying and players that are coming in. I think that, you know, it's said that the board don't want to have another repeat of fighting relegation. Well, you need to up the talent ID. That's what it's all about, people. For the people that always come to me and say it does take 20 to 30 million. Listen, we spent 25 million on Dan James. That could rise to 30. Overall, that hasn't been a good deal. We spent 27 on Rodrigo. That hasn't been a good deal. It's all on the talent ID. Joe Gilhart cost $1 million. Yes, Wigan circumstances were dire. Pascal Straub, that was another cheap one, wasn't it? So it's all about the player ID for me, and that's the most important thing. Harmony saying Rasmus is incredible, very progressive, and he scored goals too. He was at Midtjylland before Salzburg. I think we should have another look at Jens. Jens can just stay as well. Oh, you're a big fan of him. I haven't seen him, Harmony. I've never seen him, so I can't really say. But I know you're a big fan of this Jens guy. I've never seen him once, and I won't even pretend to. Nathan Palmer, I'm just glad the season's over. Yeah, I'm glad it's over too, but I'm looking forward now. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do now. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do now. Caspedino, what are you saying on Jed Spence now, Cage? He seems to have a poor attitude. Yeah, I've seen this. This poor attitude thing comes from him tweeting Neil Warnock. It's always funny when certain kinds of players do things. It's seen as a poor attitude, but other players can do it, and it's a laugh. Neil Warnock literally told Jed Spence that he's either going to be crap or he's going to be good. It's going to be no in between. And Jed Spence took the opportunity just to have a little, I would say, a pop and a little joke as well with Neil Warnock. There's no poor attitude there. It's just interesting, very interesting how it's very different for certain players. He hasn't got a poor attitude at all. He's got the will to succeed, which is a lot more than what a lot of our players have got, the players that you guys love so much, the players that are very comfortable here. At least he wants to get on and be best and be the best. So, yeah, just the wording of certain things when it comes to certain players is very interesting to me. Tom Johansson, Isn't left back to a bigger concern? Curious to see Firpo will up his yellow card tally next season. Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, there's a whole areas of concern, isn't there, Tom? Again, rumors. We can't say anything concrete, but it looks like we're concentrating on central midfield and a couple of strikers. That'll be good. But yes, there's so many areas of concern for this team. But listen, if you're getting a right back, a first choice right back as well for 10 mil, or someone competing, you got to go for it. You have to. We have to improve at the wing back position. It's so important. It's so important. Um, yeah, Deshaun, he was having fun with it. No bad attitude, classic. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's. I'll never shy it from saying how I feel about certain things like that, because it's crazy how I bet if someone like Phil Foden said it would have been a laugh, it would have been, oh, he's being a lad or anything. It is what it is, people. Blinky Fish Ramsey to Liverpool. Yeah. And this is another thing as well. I mean, it looks like, a lot of Liverpool fans were telling me that Calvin Ramsey was going to Liverpool and everything else like that. And that's fair enough. But you know what? That's a good thing for me. It's a good thing for me that the club were not just looking at Calvin Ramsey and putting all their eggs in one basket, that they've got other targets. We've seen it in previous windows. We saw it with Dan James. That one collapsed at the last hour. Yes, it wasn't our fault. But I've seen on transfer windows before where a club hasn't got a signing by 10:30, but then they'll get in that another target by 11 by the deadline. It does happen. And then we saw with Brendan Aronson, that was our only target in this January where we're fighting for our lives. So again, it's giving some credit where we have to, where we can. That's a good thing that the club haven't just set on Calvin Ramsey and said, no, 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 this is it and that's it. We've got another target here. So that's good. That's good. Vin saying, "Oh well and good using system-based players, but we also need leaders and Premier League experience." Yeah, I mean, listen, Premier League experience is something, but because we saw in Raphinha, he didn't have a lick of Premier League experience, and look what he's done for us. It's about the talent ID. You say Premier League experience, Vin, but Tyler Roberts has got Premier League experience. Would you want to keep him? You know what I mean? It's relative to what you're talking about, right? I mean, I've seen the Milner shouts. I can't believe the Milner shouts again. That's that's nostalgia kicking in, because I've seen Milner for Liverpool these days, and he's not what you remember in people. He's very slow now. He's taking those yellow cards where the player goes past him. He's just pulling his shirt down. It's as simple as that. He's not the Milner you remember. Now, if you're talking about someone who's got a winning mentality, leading experience, who can come in for you once in a while, I would say okay, but for him to be in the first 11, no chance. No chance. Dan Savage, Rasmus attitude reminds me of Pontus Janssen. We need a bit more leadership in the team. And of course, yeah, I forgot to say, I said Dortmund are linked with him, so are Brentford too. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Deshaun asking, if Barca don't get rid of Dembele and cannot afford Raf, do you think we can hold on to him? And yeah, I'm just going to quickly touch on the Raphinha thing. Again, that's gone quiet, but the window's not even open yet, people. So there's a lot to be said about talks going quiet and this and that, opening offers and everything else like that. That's what it is. That's what a negotiation is. The buying club will always try and lowball you first and just test your resolve. I don't think that 40 million thing was ever a real. I don't think Barcelona realistically thought we're going to send this through and Leeds are going to accept it. But yeah, it's not going to be over yet. It's going to probably drag all summer, especially Raphinha, if he doesn't sign a new contract, which is not looking likely. It's just going to rumble on. There's going to be new rumors every single day, week, until the Raphinha thing's sorted out. But listen, he's away with Brazil right now. He's still our player, and until the evaluation's met, that's the way it will stay for now. I'm a big proponent of not keeping players that don't want to be here. I am big on that, because I just think it just rottens the dressing room. But at the same time, you can't undersell what this guy means to us. You can't undersell that talent. So it's up to the buying clubs to come forward with the valuation that we seem as reasonable, and pay it. Otherwise, move on, because he's not going for cheap. Andrew's great comment. Need to bring a winning mentality back to Leeds, not just thinking of survival. That's it for me as well. Um, I just can't do with. I said before on a few videos about, and Jesse even said it as well, that some of these players don't have an ego. For me, you need to have a little bit of an ego when you're a footballer. You have to. You have to have a little bit about you. You cannot be all just, oh, this is nice today. We're going to play Man City. This could be good. Oh, we might get beat, but oh well, we move on to next week. No, I need you to have that little bit of dog in you. You know, I need you to have a bit of bite, a bit of belief in your abilities that you're the best in the world, even if you're not. Believe it. Believe that you are. Believe that you are great. I'm just not into all this nicey, hold hands, we're all a family stuff. I just don't believe you can get far with that. Even the most successful teams have that bite in them. They've got that dog in them. You have to. I think all of this nice family stuff, it was nice during the promotion era. It did us well, but we've moved on now, people. You've got to move on. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But so far with the players, I mean, some have been underwhelming. Some of the links have been very underwhelming. But you have to flesh out the squad too. So not every signing is going to be a wow. It's not going to be. It's not going to wow you. But you have to have some of those players in your squad. It's got to be better than what we've got. I mean, and when you talk about upgrading our midfield from Forshaw and Click, it's not hard. Again, that bar is literally on the ground. But you have to upgrade with that. And if you have to flesh it out with a few squad players, so be it. What we can't do is get in a situation where we're giving players like Stuart McKinstry a Premier League debut. We just have to get out of that now. No scope zone. From all the right back rumours, this guy looks the best. I think it's the best choice. Yeah, I mean, personally, I would take Jed Spence first of all. But I think Jed Spence, he's been linked with Arsenal and Spurs. And if Conte is after you, Tottenham Champions League Conte, hey, that's a no-brainer. And he'll probably be the first choice there as well, because their first choices are Doherty and Emerson Royale. So listen, yeah, if Tottenham want Jed Spence, I think that's a wrap. And Gail agree, Cage, about a squad. Yeah, man. Listen, I love what, and I don't get it twisted. I always have to make this clear because people think I just hate the promotion guys. I love what those guys did for us. I do, with everything. They got us out the doldrums. 16 years of nothingness. They did. But you listen, we can't still be looking at some of those guys 3 years into our Premier League term, and they're still in our first 11. They shouldn't be here. You know what? I was looking at Steven Gerrard because we're talking about doing our business early, and Villa. Villa, I think they're about to wrap up their third signing. I think they signed a centre back from Sevilla. And what it is with Steven Gerrard, what I like, and I take him as an example because he did it at Rangers and he's doing it at Villa, is he doesn't care about what you've done before. He doesn't care about if you're a nice guy or not. He wants to win. Now, I don't know what he realistically thinks he's going to get done with Villa, but he's going to do everything within his power to make sure that he can do the best. So he's going to get the best tools available. He signed Kamara on a free. The Sevilla defender, it escapes me. If anyone's in the chat, just let me know. As soon as he come in, the January window open, Matt Target, who's a serviceable left back. Serviceable is okay. That's okay. That will get you a 6 to 7 out of 10 a week. Yeah. But he wanted Luca Digne, and he got him. He's not scared to do it. And that's what we've got to hope that Jesse's looking to do now. And if he gets this Rasmus Christensen guy in, and he supplants Luke Ayling, that's a start for me. That's a good start. Yeah, Diego Carlos. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Yeah, that's the defender from Sevilla. That's what I'm talking about. You've got to have that kind of ruthless attitude. And people think it's unfair, it's harsh. But listen, players do it to clubs too. When a player outgrows a club, they'll say, listen, I need to move on. So it works both ways, people. Michael Pollard saying, KG, I've complained that we've been slow and got a lot of abuse on Twitter. Shout out to you for using Twitter. The season had just finished, etc. I think Orta is useless. Well, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere, quite clearly, because he's doing our recruiting. So Yeah, it is what it is. We just have to hope that he gets it right this summer. He has to get it right. Tom Gatlin, shout out to you, man. No place for sentiment in elite professional football. Ruthlessness is what's needed to progress. Yeah, you can be loyal to a point, but the players got to be doing the business for you too. Otherwise, it just looks funny. You know what I mean? It's like when I speak to my Liverpool guys about Jordan Henderson and how they need to move on from him. A lot of them can't take it, and they're like, no, but he's won the league, he's won the Champions League with us. But it's like, yeah, but look at him now. He's kind of holding your midfield back. But sentiment, it's big in football, and it's sentiment. I've got sentimental memories about football, but yeah, you just have to move on. James Meredith, maybe we hijack the Mane deal. Oh my days. But yeah, oh yes, of course. Now I've mentioned Raphinha. Now, Nketiah. I thought the last video was the last time I was going to have to mention this guy's name. Yeah, but apparently, it's been reported by a few people that Nketiah was being looked at by Leeds United before Arsenal stepped in. And I'm like I said before, and I'll say it again, I'm very, very happy. I'm very, very happy about Arsenal signing him to the deal that they're signing him to. 5 years, 100K a week. Thank you very much, Arsenal. And I said this to my Arsenal friends as well. And a couple of them are really not happy about this deal, but I'm delighted because it just means that we're not signing him. He was never the answer for me, never. We need to move somewhere else, and that's another thing. I talked about the Red Bull network earlier. I just hope that Victor Orta is refreshing his Rolodex now. I hope he's looking through it and saying, "Oh yeah, 2 years ago I looked at him. Maybe I need to move on now." I think he needs to just refresh his Rolodex. That's what happens with Leeds. We link with certain players and we just link with them forever until we sign them. It happened with Billy Sharp, Adam Lafandra. I mean, there's so many examples. It's like once we link with a player, we think that they should come and play for us. But that's it now. The Nketiah thing is done. He will be signing for Arsenal. Love it, love it. Gail, you love Nketiah, KG, like me, really. Listen, when you break it down, and I hate doing this because you got to score against people, right? You do. You have to score. You have to score goals. But the two goals he scored against Chelsea, I mean, one was a gift from, was it Aspilicueta? Another one was a decent finish. And then he scored against us. And who didn't score against us? I mean, we conceded like 80 goals. I just he's not it for me. I think there's better out there. Um, yeah, so there you go. There's the Nketiah thing. I hope now we can move on now and just forget it. Just forget it now. But listen, there's over 200 people here right now, which is great numbers at this time of day, or wherever you are in the world, because I know that there's a lot of Americans now tuning in. Shout out to all you guys. It's interesting to see. I always say it, but it's always interesting to see on the analytics where people are watching from. It's crazy to me. Um, Oh, okay. This one's come in a couple of times. Let me just get through it. Raj is asking, would you take Lewis O'Brien for 10 million? 10 million? Yes, I would if that's the price. But I mean, the chairman before did say that they had bids up to 13 million. This was the chairman of Huddersfield that said that they rejected bids of up to 13 million. Now it may have changed. I think he signed a new contract, so maybe if they didn't get promoted, maybe there's a clause in there that says 10 million. Yeah, Lewis O'Brien as a squad player, yeah. Is he somebody I'm looking at as a first 11 week in, week out at this point? No. But as somebody again, like the right back Rasmus, if he's 10 million, absolutely do it. Just get it done. Flesh out the squad with some players that can do something to change a game or help you within the game. Do something. So yeah, if it's 10 million, yeah, I would do that at this point because we definitely need midfield reinforcements, and you're not going to get a lot for 10 million, and I think that's a decent shout for 10. So yeah, I would. Um, yeah, Raj is saying as well, James Garner. Yeah, we've been linked with him, but I don't know what he's going to be doing at Manchester United. I'm not sure if he's going to stay at Forest for another year now they've gone up, or if Man United are going to keep him. But yeah, those are decent. Those are decent players. But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Um, yeah, I mean that's the main thing. Blinkyfish, just to put a bow on it, we need bodies in to bulk up the squad. Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, listen, people. Just before we exit, and when I say exit, I mean it's probably going to be another 20 minutes, but if that. I saw something the other day. Shout out to the AFTV guys, but it's something I've done before on a podcast before. I mean, it was a tiny podcast as well, but it's an EPL draft. So what it is that you choose who you'd want to sign for your club. So obviously our club is Leeds United from each Premier League team. Now we will do the ones that have just been relegated just to make it easier. Um, so yeah, so it's just one player, and it can be ideal wise what you think will fit in with the squad, or who you just would love to take from that team. So if you want to play, I want to play a game. Shout out to Saw. Let's do it. Let's do it. John B, exciting time for it. Yeah, man. Let's look forward to the summer window, man. Until it gets up to the first week of uh, when it comes up to the first game of the season, we're like, oh, where's all the players? Where's all the But listen, let's try and stay positive, people. Let's try and stay positive. Yeah, man. There's a lot of love for Rasmus. And listen, everything that's been discussed so far, people who are watching the replay, please leave your comments in on the video below. So yeah, from Arsenal people, who's the one player from Arsenal you would take? And this is more from you than me. I will give my players. I've got my players listed who I would take, but I'm interested to hear who you guys would take from there. So yeah, Arsenal. Yeah, Michael Pollard saying I use Jared Bowen as the benchmark. No one in the championship at his level when he was there. Any signings from there will be squad recruits. I want to play again. So man, love it, love it. Oh no, Ben White. Oh God, of course he was here on loan. Yes, bring back the band together, man. Let's DX reunion this thing up. Some people saying Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saliba. That's a good shout. Athena, shout out to you. Martinelli. Brett, please, no, no, please. Oh Lord. Jason saying, yeah, glad that Nketiah is out. Yeah, yeah, I'm glad he's out too, man. Smith Rowe getting a bit of love. Right. Well, for me, I've gone with Saka. Saka quite easily. Um, just easily the most talented player out of that bunch, and I think he's got more room to grow. He needs to get some rest though. He can't be played every week like he has been. But yeah, Saka is my pick from Arsenal just for pure talent wise. And listen, if Raphinha did leave, that's a decent replacement, right? Now, hey, listen, R41, you got to emphasize it will be used in my system, therefore less emphasis on wingers. It's just for fun. We're not going to sign. I mean, I've got players on this list. We're never signing any of these players. So yeah, it's just for fun, really. But it's just interesting to hear your thoughts of who you would take from each team. Yeah. So yeah, Aston Villa next. Aston Villa, let's go. Who would you? Bobby El Neni. Aston Villa next. Who would you take from Aston Villa? Bobby, you got jokes, man. But I know Tyler Roberts is your star boy, so I get it. I get it. For me personally, though, from Aston Villa, I would take Matt Cash. We talked about right backs, but for me, he's only getting better as the years go on. I think he's superb, and man, I'd love to have seen him at Leeds United. The fee they paid for him in the end, what was it, 11 million, maybe even 15, whichever one, bargain for what he's turned into now. Jamie McCurr, John McGinn, yeah. Good player, man. Good player, good engine. Shout out to the disabled team. Ibby saying cash from a Liverpool fan as backup. Well, yeah, of course he would be backup to Trent. Of course he would be, yeah. A few Martinez shouts here. I understand that one. Coutinho, Sham with a good one. Ramsey, yeah, super player. He's just signed a new deal at Villa too. Scott Line and Dino over Furpa. I mean, that's not hard, is it, Scott? But yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Gail likes McGinn too. Yeah, Bobby, you gotta bring the level up. Jed Steer. But yeah, nice one, Brian. Watching from St. Petersburg, Florida, Gold Bolts. Yeah, man, you guys. if anyhow you guys did a three-peat, that would be. Oh. I'm interested though, Brian. The Western Conference Final, Oilers and Avs. That's going to be a goal fest, guy. So if you can stay up for that, because I know Western Conference games are late over here too. Try and watch that too. It's going to be amazing. Buen dia. Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's Villa. Villa done. Brentford next. Let's go with Brentford. Who would you take, people from Brentford? Let's go. Let me just say as well. Sorry. Yeah. Just reading something there. From Brentford, I would take Ericsson. Doesn't need explaining. Creative force in the midfield, set piece master, just quality on the ball, just quality. One of those players where it doesn't. You don't have to be quick. Doesn't have to be quick at all. He's got the brain that makes up for everything, and he's just superb. Um, Again, he's either going to stay at Brentford, possibly go to Man United, or back to Spurs. That's the level we're talking of here, people. So yeah, Ericsson for me all day long. A few punter shouts in here, of course. Sentimental guys, I get you. Yeah, but nothing wrong with Punters. Punters is a fine centre back in all fairness. So I understand that one too. Tony shouts, of course. Scott Lightning, Thomas Frank. I couldn't have him chewing his gum. I wouldn't want to see him chew his gum so many times on the sideline for us. So I'm gonna have to say no to that. Punters, a few Punters shouts actually. Yeah. Gail saying, yes, please, Ericsson. Ben Wainwright with Canos. I don't think he'd come here for some reason. I don't know why. I just get the feeling Canos wouldn't come to Leeds. I'm not sure. Yorkshire Pirlo, Pontus is better than Cooper and Strout. That's sad but true. Well, he's definitely better than Cooper. Pascal, I think overall, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Pascal, for me, is going on the trajectory where I think he'll be better than Pontus. Obviously, as we talk right now today, Yorkshire Pirlo, he's better than Strout. Of course, he is. Yeah. Anyone but Canos, yeah. So yeah, that's Brentford. That's for me. Brighton next, people. Let's go with Brighton. We're doing this in alphabetical order, as you can tell. For me, from Brighton, it was a tie between two. Not very adventurous, but it's either Basuma or Kukurea. I've gone with Kukurea just simply because it would be a left back upgrade by times 100, and it's in the. You can see why, because he's now been. I think he's close to signing with Man City. Imagine that, Man City with Kukurea. I mean, the rich just get richer, right? But it was a toss up between Basuma and Kukurea, and a lot of people are going the same. Dan Savage has gone with Lamptey though. Yorkshire Pirlo, Alexis McAllister. To again, like he's inconsistent, hot and cold. But Kukurea has been a magnificent signing for Brighton. Again, talent ID. I think the Brighton guy has just left for Newcastle, which is quite scary. I think the guy that recruits at Brighton has just gone to Newcastle. So look at the gems that he's going to find for them. But yeah, Kukurea has just got everything you want in a modern day fullback. Gets forward, can defend very very well. Brilliant on deliveries when it comes to crossing too. It's an easy pick for me. So a few Trossard shouts as well. Yeah, John B's some very informed opinions in the chat. Yeah, man, it's just good. It's good, isn't it, just to get what people's gauge on what they're finding. We've been in the Premier League, and I'm fully aware that people probably weren't watching it before because some people do just watch Leeds United. But it's interesting just to see who people are feeling. Jamie Kerr with a Sanchez shout. Yeah. But I'm actually going to cover that next, Jamie Kerr, because now we're moving on to newly relegated Burnley. Now, if you've been on my channel before, you know who I'm going to say here. It doesn't even need to be said, I don't think, but it is Nick Pope. Nick Pope is one of the best goalkeepers in the Prem, not even close. He's top 6 for me. And you know what? We could even squeeze that top 5 if we're being real. But for me, he's going to be back in the Prem. No doubt about it. He has to be back in the Prem. There's no way a goalkeeper of his talent level should be in the Championship. So, listen, is there any? I mean, there's a lot of Pope ones here. Anyone else besides Pope? See, the Pope train is now full. Nice. Cornet is a shout. Yeah, apparently he's got a relegation clause of 17 mil, which is interesting. Um, very interesting. Ibby saying no one. I think Ibby, you're a Liverpool fan, right? Yeah, you don't need no one from Burnley, right? But yeah, Pope is the looks like it's the clear winner. But yeah, just a top goalkeeper, and I hope he gets his move. Chelsea next, people. Chelsea. Which one player would you take from Chelsea? Chelsea for me is well, actually, he's on his way to Madrid now, so I'm kind of cheating here, but he hasn't officially gone yet. Is Rudiger again? Centre back isn't an area where I'm looking to really strengthen too much because I do think we've got just about enough for where we're going to probably finish next season. But if I could take Rudiger, I would. He's top class. He's got everything in the locker. He's got the right amount of belief. He's got the right amount of dark arts. But he just gives you so much in your team. He can drive forward with the ball. He's a goal threat too. Winds up opponents in the right way without getting sent off. Reece James, that's a brilliant shout, by the way, Matt. I love Reece James too. So I'm fully with you there. Niall saying we need centre backs back. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not disagreeing with that now, but I just think that there's other areas that we need to take care of before the centre back areas. But if you could get a Rudiger, oh, I'd absolutely take it. Of course, Mason Mount getting some love here. I love Mason Mount too. I'm not sure he's very fond of Leeds, as you've seen with the amount he loves to play against us and hush us up. But I understand that. I understand Mason Mount. He's a really good player, of course. Uh, yeah, a few Kova shouts here. Understandable. Understandable. Past Kante. Yeah, the thing is, listen, I'm a huge Kante fan of what he's done before, but he's starting to break down a little now. He's starting to get a little bit slower, and the injuries are piling up. So at this point, it's mm, I wouldn't take Kante now, but Rudiger is my shout. The Crystal Palace people, all aboard! Crystal Palace. Gotta put that one in now. To Tony Pulisic for Leeds. There we go. American connections. Connor's got my one there. Elise, that's mine as well. Elise, for me, easy target as well. I know some people might go for Zaha. A lot of Eze shouts here, and shout out to Eze. He's getting back to what he was before his injury. But Elise, for me, he's got everything in the locker, and he's such a creative force as well. I mean, the guy just creates, and he makes it easy as well. You'd never believe that this kid had never played Premier League before, and that's why, again, going back to someone's early point about Premier League experience, Elise's come in and made it look easy. Puns there all over the place, but yeah, he's made it look easy, and I think he's just going to get better. So yeah, Elise for me. Gay shouts here as well. Again, if you want to improve the centre back area, Gay an excellent shout. Niall Fleming, street football, exactly. Throwback, man. He's like he plays. He doesn't play like he belongs in a certain system. He just plays effortlessly, beautifully. I just love that kind of baller, and he's got end product. That's the key thing, by the way, people. He's got end product. So yeah, a few people saying Conor Gallagher. I mean, technically he's at Chelsea, but I feel you. I feel you. Let's get away with it. You can get away with it. Dan Savage as well saying Conor Gallagher. Yeah. I understand that one too. I understood it last summer too, but hey, let's not go back onto that. Everton. This is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, I mean, just Gail saying about Crystal Palace, Zaha, good for us, dirty Leeds. Yeah, he would be. He's one of those, I think, people that they don't like Zaha, but if he was on their team, they would absolutely love him. But yeah, let's go on to Everton, people. For me, man, it was tough. It was tough, I'll be honest. But if I'm being, you have to choose one. Okay, you can't just say no one. There's no one called no one for Everton. But Richarlison, is it? Yeah, yeah. I understand the Gordon shouts. Absolutely, yeah. He's a decent youngster. I need to see more of him though before I can get on that train. I think he had a real good few months, but I need to see him do more, and I need to see him cut out that diving crap he keeps doing. Not good for me. Um, if you're gonna dive, be sensible with it. Make it believable. But he doesn't do that. And shout out R41. You know what? I need just to quickly on this one on Everton. R41 said Richard Arlison. That honestly, what a story! What a story! And you know what the best thing is? Because Richarlison, if you see his social media people, he's great on social media. He's like a Mateus Click. But Richarlison actually retweeted the picture of him driving the bus after Liverpool lost. Listen, I'm here for all of that. I'm here for all of that. Yeah, Niall Fleming, the bus driver. Absolutely. I'll sign that. Richard Arlison, I'll sign him. Absolutely. Um, it's just tremendous. I love that kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. Leicester City next, people. Let's go. Leicester. Uh, my choice might actually surprise you. But again, I was wrestling with a few. If we're talking a few years ago, it would have been Vardy all day long. Let's not even go in. It wouldn't even be a competition. It would be Jamie Vardy. Fortunately, he's getting older now. But I absolutely believe me, I'm a huge Jamie Vardy fan. Big stan of Jamie Vardy. I was wrestling with these ones. A lot of Madison shouts, lots of Harvey Barnes, understandable, brilliant talents. Um, Wicked players. Few Tielemans shouts. Now you see the thing is for me with Tielemans, he's good when the going's good. When Leicester are playing well, he looks amazing, right? But for me, when Leicester aren't doing well, he shrinks. He goes missing a lot. I don't like that. I don't like people that are just there on the front runners. I need people to dig in when things aren't going well. I need you to change it. You've got the ability to change the game. Do it. I just don't think he'll do it. But I hear you with those shouts. Castagna, yeah, wonderful fullback. Connor saying Daka realistic. I mean, yeah, I mean, listen, we're going through the Red Bull system. Daka's been there recently. He hasn't played much last season. Hey, maybe he's a future target. Who knows? Yeah, we are Leeds Ricardo for our right back. I love Ricardo, but since that injury, he hasn't been the same. He hasn't been the same since he had that long-term injury, I'm afraid. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you see Leicester, man, they're stacked at fullback. We're struggling. Send us one over. James Justin, again, he's come back from injury recently. Look, I think he's with the England squad right now. Yeah, good, very good player. Dewsbury Hall, yeah, he's going to be it. He's going to be it. Tony just stole the words out of my mouth. I think he's going to be an England player in the next couple of years if he carries on performing the way he is. He's been brilliant for Leicester. Dewsbury Hall, love that. But Bobs and Raj, you've actually got the player I've chosen. And that's Fofana. Again, centre back. Man, I've named a couple centre backs now, innit? Maybe we do need to strengthen there. But no, Fofana for me, a young guy, and he's already class. He's already class, and he's going to get better. Unfortunately, with that horrible injury last season in preseason, I mean, what a horrible way to get injured. It was a crap tackle as well, by the way. But yeah, Fofana for me, he's got all the tools to get to the top. I can see him probably playing for Real Madrid in the future. I can see that. I think he's going to be that good. Righteous one. Fofana is a beast. Yeah, he's incredible. He's incredible. But yeah, so that is Leicester. Well, take your pick, people. Liverpool next. Liverpool next. Who would you take? The one player you take from Liverpool. This is, oh my gosh, I've just done it again. I'm looking at my list. I've named another one. I've named another centre back. Oh my days. Andrew, of all the players you could pick, you pick Curtis Jones. Is that because you think that's realistic who we could get, or is that just your dream scenario? Do you rate him that highly? There's a few Yeah, Allison. I was wrestling with that one. Slow, steady, Steve. Allison, absolutely. There's a few Diaz shouts, but like with Paz, I'm going Virgil. Um, don't need to explain that. Colossal centre back, calming influence, a real leader on the pitch, really short on the ball, threat from set pieces, as we found out as well. But yeah, you don't need to explain that. Virgil van Dijk, hey, listen, and Pascal loves him too. He can learn off him right next to him. Beautiful. Um, yeah, hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Chris Davis with, oh, okay, Andrew, realistic. Fair enough. See, I'm going with some, if it's realistic, I'd say so, but I'm just going on dream scenario, I'll be honest. Gail, I mean, Alexander Arnold, incredible player. Um, we could say that about so many of them. You know, there's been Robertson shouts, Mane, Salah. I mean, you could go anywhere here, couldn't you? But yeah, just for his presence and his overall ability, it's got to be Virgil van Dijk. David Jewell saying, Kanate, I think is going to be a great signing for Paul. Yeah, he's already been a great signing for him, hasn't he? And yeah, he'll get better, especially under Klopp. As much as I don't like Klopp's personality, he's an outrageous coach. So yeah, you learn under that tree nicely. So yeah, that's Liverpool. That's Liverpool. Oh, Josh, who's a member of the channel, can't be in the market for a right back and not go with Alexander Arnold. Absolutely. But who's he going to cross it to? Jack Wilson, hey Cage, please no more Barca rejects. Okay, all right. Chris Davis, Keita played at Leipzig. He did. He absolutely did. Right, so Manchester City next, and Connor's got in early, even though he hasn't officially signed. But Leeds lads Haaland, yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, listen, we talk about Liverpool having options. Man City have got what options out the wazoo. I mean, it was ridiculous trying to pick one from these guys. But I went with De Bruyne again. Not exciting, but Tony being naughty here, Calvin Phillips. Nice. Niall, KDB, Joel Cancelo. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about modern day fullbacks, that's him all over, isn't it? Deshaun, that's a great one. Anyone, that's tremendous. That is actually tremendous. Some Foden shouts, Rodri, yeah, huge. Just huge. But for me, KDB gives you everything, doesn't he? Set pieces, can play deep if you need him to, centrally, attacking midfield, don't matter. Quality on the ball, tough to get it off him too. The only thing I would worry about is injuries. But listen, what he gives you when he's on the pitch more than makes up for it. So KDB. Some realistic ones here. Well, realistic, like they come to Leeds. But Zinchenko shouts in here. Hey, Andrew Ford, that's a good one. Pep. Hey, Andrew, you may have just got the answer of the day here. That's excellent. Why didn't I think of that? Damn it. But that's a really good shout, Andrew. Pep. Hey, coach of all coaches. I am not mad at that. That's an excellent answer. And I'm really mad that I did not freaking think of that. I'm really mad. Shout out to you, Andrew. All right. No, we cannot. No, Bob, we cannot skip them. Manchester United. Let's just make this quick and painless, people. Man United, for me, no doubt, is Cristiano Ronaldo. We'll be suing all day long. And listen, you know what? You know what's funny to me, man? All the problems that Manchester United have had this season, and and people in pundits and everyone else would like to think that Ronaldo has been a problem, a player that scored over 20 goals for him. See, only in 2022 is only scoring goals a problem because he doesn't run about and do all that passion merchant stuff. But he puts the ball in the net. He literally put him through to the Champions League knockout rounds with his clutch goals. Got 18 league goals. Yes, they're in bunches, but he still got them. Crazy how people can say that. Okay, a few no comments. Chris, we don't want that. Ed Woodward, we don't want that. Josh saying Maguire, he'd fit in seamlessly on an underperforming defense. Yeah, you had me in the first half there, Josh. You had me in the first half. Pogba, a few shots of Pogba. Bob's saying McSauce. Listen, Bob's, the only McSauce is against us. It's only us that he gets the time and space to do what he does. But I hear you. Fernandez, oh Lord. Fernandez shouts, no, 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 I almost clicked on that one. We can't click on that one. Dan James, yeah, yeah, we got him all right. We certainly got him. We definitely got him. Let's move on, people. Newcastle United, let's go. This one I think is pretty easy again. Bruno Guimaraes, everything you probably want in a midfielder. And again, someone I keep referring back to, but he said Premier League experience. Bruno Guimaraes has no Premier League experience. Eddie Howe did use him off the bench for the first couple of games, but look how he looks in the Prem now. He looks like he's been playing here forever. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't always have to be Prem experience. And he's come in and he looks amazing. What did they pay for him? 35? Is it 35 million? That's tremendous value. And yeah, David, goals change games. We need to sign players that can produce goals and assists. Absolutely. Absolutely. St. Maximum. Oh, man. People, you're hurting me here. I thought we were better than this. Rice Joel Linton. Oh, Lord. Slow Steady Steve, St. Maximum. Arca saying Trippier. Decent shout. Decent shout. This is an interesting one. Righteous one. Would you have Wilson? No, I wouldn't. Simple reason, and there's a few people saying Callum Wilson, and the reason why is because he's too injury prone. Like I can't get behind that at all. You don't know when he's going to be available, people, and when he goes missing for months. Like it's not even like it's just like for 1 or 2 games. He's out for long term. So for me, he's way too precious for me to want to sign. Paz is saying Dan Burn. Tony with a little satire here. Chris Wood Family Club. Lovely. Yeah, Niall, he'll fit in well at Leeds. Yeah, we've got to move away from these ones. Barbers, hasn't he done his ACL in both knees? He has, but then he's had more injuries after these as well. That's what I'm saying. He's just unreliable. But yeah, Bruno Guimaraes probably gets the largest votes there. Norwich City, recently relegated, but relegated Norwich City, people. How are we feeling about that? Again, let's not make Norwich long. It's Pookie. Even if he's off the bench, you're getting somebody that's getting into double figures in a very, very horrible Norwich City team. There you go. He's got the Premier League experience. And yeah, Pookie. Let's have a look. Max Aaron shouts here. Connor wants Delia. Barb's wants Delia Smith. Lewis Hamer, none. Haven't heard of him. No, but I hear you. Matthias Norman, yeah. We're not going to spend long on Norwich, people. Let's move on. Southampton. This is an interesting one. Southampton. Is there anyone from Southampton you take? Okay, no. I already know who a lot of people are going to say. I know it's going to be Che Adams because we've been linked with him before. I understand that, right? But for me, it would be Carl Walker-Peters. Once again, we're looking for fullbacks. He's adapted well, being moved over to the left with the arrival of Livramento. But for me, I think he's a real good Premier League fullback. I like him a lot. I think he gets up and down well. And yeah, Carl Walker-Peters for me. James Ward-Prowse, yeah. Oh yeah, of course, I forgot about that guy. Walker-Peters, another one. Livramento, Athena, James Ward-Prowse for his set pieces. Yeah, man. Set piece hype, man. Set piece hype. Ward-Prowse, Livramento, not Che Adams. Yeah. Gail saying Walker-Peters for her too. Yeah. Drive asking, is Kiko still on the books? Yeah. I think he is, but yeah, we need to get him off the books. And big up to you guys, man. Yeah, Salisu, good shout on that one. Good shout on that one. Very, very good centre back. Another one that's getting better. I'm looking to see him next season, seeing what he's about. Shout out to you, Amelia. Shout out to you, man. Okay, next up, Tottenham Hotspur. This one's going to be interesting too. Which one player would you take from Tottenham Hotspur? Connor, Jack Clark. We really did them over. But in turn, they did get us back for selling us that horrible patch of grass that we had to put on our pitch. They got us back good. Um, Kane, I mean, this is pretty much going to be a wash, isn't it? Son, Kane, Gale being greedy there, Son and Kane. I know that they do come as a duo, but you can only choose one. One. The one I picked though is Son. Harry Kane, obviously, I mean, he could go on to break the Premier League goal scoring record. He could, but just for me, Son just gives you absolutely everything in a player. Top draw, Golden Boot winner this season, along with Salah. Yeah, Son just gives you everything. You know, he's not even a striker. He's not even a striker, and he's getting goals like how he does. It's ridiculous the numbers he puts up. So yeah, Son for me. Kulusevski, good shouts. Love Kulusevski. What a baller, by the way. What a baller. Really interested to see how he does next season as well, especially in the Champions League. And Louis says 100% Son. Yeah, so a lot of Son and K shouts there. Athena, though, yeah, good point. Kane is a creative one and he scores goals. He does. He absolutely does. But there's just something about Son, man. It's just the way he plays. He's effortless with how he plays, and I think it's good. And he's very fit as well in terms of he rarely ever gets injured too. So there's that too. Dan Savage asking, is Lucas more realistic? No, I hope not. I hope not. Hopefully he rejects us. No, not for me. He's another one. Lucas Moore is another one where he's pure energy. He'll get about the pitch, but the end product. Yes, I know he scored a hat trick against Ajax in the Champions League. I get it, but apart from that, nah, not for me. Barb's again with the Sun thing there. Joint top score and no pens. Absolutely, absolutely interesting one though. Okay, we're down to the last three people. Watford. Again, we'll keep this one short and sweet. Mine is Emmanuel Dennis. Again, we're talking about needing goals. I think in a much better team with a better atmosphere around him, I think Emmanuel Dennis will thrive. And I think we'll see him in the Premier League again next season, people. I cannot see Emmanuel Dennis staying in the Championship. So for me, it's Emmanuel Dennis. Dennis. Yeah, Ben Foster. I mean, Ben Foster was recently on his podcast saying how he's left and now he's reaching out to people now to see if they need a goalkeeper. So he's available. He's out and available. So I understand that one. A lot of Dennis shouts here. Sham with a João Pedro shout. Louis says he doesn't know Watford. That's fair enough. But yeah, lots of Dennis shouts. Dan Savage, Ismail Assar. Again, Ismail Assar, Dan. He should have kicked on by now. He should be better than what he is right now. Unfortunately, he stayed at Watford for, I think, 2 years longer than he should have. And he's just kind of stagnated as a player. Now, he'll probably go down to the Championship again and get excellent numbers. But he needs to move now. He needs to get to a better coach to really hone his talent because he's definitely a talented player. There's definitely talent there, but he's the same player he was 2 years ago, and he shouldn't be. Yeah, Connor, that's what he is right now. There you go. Saying Saar, no end product, overhyped. Yeah, I mean, the hype has died down a bit, but yeah, his end product is shocking right now. Ben Wainwright, cleverly. Oh, my days. Right. So West Ham, I think this is going to be another easy one, isn't it? West Ham United. Let's go. Jason just saying outgoing play is probably more an important chat. Yeah, Jason, I mean, that will be discussed at some point. But the thing is, what we need to do is move some of these first 11 players onto the bench at least. So it's about talking about incomers and everything else is like that is about fleshing out our squad and making our first 11 better because it can't be the same as it has been this season. Can't. Otherwise, we'll be in the same position again. So it's about moving those players down to the bench at least and then try to move them on. But we'll get into that at some point. Lots of Rice shouts. Yeah, Declan Rice is my shout. Just full disclosure, Declan Rice getting even better as the years go on in terms of what he can do with the ball. Good anchor in the midfield, but he can get forward when needed to. So yeah, Declan Rice for me, it's a no-brainer. James Thomas here with a Zuma shout. Yeah, John B, move him onto the bench and break it to him gently or harshly, whichever one. They need to get the message. Some Ben Rama shouts. Mark Noble. Niall with Antonio. Some Bowen shouts, of course. Yeah. Yeah, Rice or Bowen, not even close. I'd agree with that. Absolutely. Louis, in regards to Rice, he's saying he's better at going forward each year. Rice is improving so much. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like a couple of years ago when we was in the champion, we'd always get the comparison of Phillips and Rice. I was certain Phillips was going to be the better player, but Rice has just moved on leaps and bounds over the last couple of years, especially over the last year. And he's actually loving the responsibility of being the standing captain when Mark Noble's not playing. He loves it. He doesn't hide from it. He doesn't shy from it. He loves being one of the most important players on the pitch. I think it's a great mentality to have. So yeah, that's West Ham. And now, for lastly, we'll go with Wolves, and that completes the 20 of the 21-22 Premier League. Calvin is the better four. Yeah, in that position, yeah, Calvin is definitely a better, in terms of breaking up play tackler. But when you adding strings to your bow like Declan Rice has done, yeah, it's tough to argue with that. Yeah, Tony, you got my player there. Ruben Neves, he's mine. Connor Cody with some shouts here. Lewis Hamer for a bit of experience, know-how. Matinho, not mad at that. Deshaun Podence, Alfonso Pedro Neto, yeah, we need to see him back, man. Again, he had another nasty injury. Hopefully he's back into full form, and in the coming season, because he was so good before. Yeah, 8 Nori, yeah, good left back, very good left back. Yeah, Ben Sa, Jose Sa, yeah, is he Portuguese? Yeah, Jose Sa, brilliant goalkeeper. I like him a lot too. But that's it, yeah. I mean, Niall saying Neto is a shout, but we don't need wingers. But yeah, Ruben Neves for me, easy choice in terms of, yeah, he doesn't score as many goals as I think he should, because I think he's got a rocket of a shot on him, but he breaks up play well, good passer of the ball, brilliant technician, excellent technician, and can help you out on set pieces. So for me, it would be an easy shout in Ruben Neves. But yeah, so yeah, that is that, people. Let's have a look. John B. Some very good choices in the chat, and definitely food for thought. Yeah, and listen, people, if you're watching a replay, give me who you would take in the comments below from each Premier League team, and we keep it moving, man. So yeah, that is it from me today. We've gone an hour. I didn't think it was going to go this long, but hey, listen, you guys have kept me company, so it's all good. Great show today. If there's any news, listen, we're not hearing any like concrete whispers about transfers and anything else like that. But for me, as long as Leeds are working in the background and trying to get things done, that's all I care about. Like, we could think that there's nothing happening, then later on today, I come on a video and say, listen, we've signed somebody. That would be great. That's all we can ask for from Leeds United. Just keep working in the background. But yeah, listen, people, smash a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you want to become a member, it's in the description below. And yeah, peace out, people. Leave your comments on everything discussed today. Have a good one.